I'm leaving the title character segment short because there's nothing really new about him. All I could say is the coolness is back. This time around, he's popping motorcycle tires, he's tire attacking helmets, he's water slicing vampires during an ultraviolet bomb, he's a sword bender, he sword plays one-handed.
Maybe I didn't mean to call him.
He also spares this vampire and he's never seen again. I'm putting Wessler and Blade together because they both connect to each other. And I have a lot to say about Wessler. Wessler suffers from something I like to call the Men in Black 2 effect, where a character who either died or served his or her purpose in the previous movie comes back for no reason. And it all started with Men in Black 2. Except Blade 2 predates Men in Black 2 a few months ahead, but who cares? Rolls off the tongue better, don't you think? Believe it or not, they actually do show the same scene where he died in the last film, but I'm pretty sure people who watched the last movie and have never seen the second movie are all going to assume that he is full-on DEAD. He also starts off in the beginning of the movie as a full-on vampire, only for him to be cured back into a human, and it never gets brought up again, so what's the point? And I will give credit, Wessler does have a bigger part in this movie, as in taking part of all the adventures. And oh yeah, leave Scud behind. No one cares if you're chasing Pennywise now. To be fair, the vampires do play a bigger role in this movie than just being mindless killing machines and villains.
Red cocaine.
I like the scene where all the vampires are sliding down the ladder, just for this one's hands to burn because he wasn't wearing gloves. Because remember, silver is the vampire's weakness. And is it just me, or does Nosferatu right here look way too much like the main villain? Then we have the Blood Pack, who is meant to be this movie's equivalent to the Marines from Aliens, and me and my team from Predator. There's Lighthammer, who's got both a hammer and a spear on it. He also has a red-haired girlfriend, who leaves him on several occasions.
I knew you've been hiding something from me, girl.
There's Priest, who's gonna die first. I was expecting Blade to die first, but whatever. There's Snowman, who is Ching Chong Blade. There's Choompa, who's got a Tommy gun. There's the Princess, who I can't tell if she's Pakistani or illegal. Then there's Reinhardt, played by the living embodiment of virtue signaling, Ron Perlman. What makes Reinhardt a likable character is not only his name, but the fact that you know that he's a villain.
Can you blush? Better curb that dog of yours or we'll do it for you.
By the way, if you can't tell, that's a running gag where if he doesn't behave,
and I detonate the explosive device in the base of your skull.
I also like their suits.
What do you really think?
They're gonna fuck us the first chance they get.
Of course!
But we'll get to that later. The villain of this movie is Jared Nomak, a zombie vampire type thing, I don't know. He's got an open jawline, he's got a starfish tongue, some parts are CGI, some parts are puppet work. Clearly this guy took inspiration from both the Predator and the Xenomorph. By the way, I looked it up, he's not a thing in the comics. And just like any other AIDS-infested freak, his virus is spreading like wildfire. He's got no weakness, except for UV light. Better than nothing, I say. I also like how he fights Blade with a building wire. But there's actually a plot twist to him. Turns out he wants Blade and Wessler to help him because his father turned him into the disgrace that he is now, after his dad's death.
Blade, it could end right here. What do you think?
I was originally against this because of what I said earlier, but
It looks like I've finished my father's job.
okay, that makes sense because he's a vampire. But the fight scene is pretty cool though. Next we have Scud, played by Norman Reedus, which after a bit of education in my personal life, I discovered that he's named after a river bug whose only purpose in life is to be eaten by birds. How empowering is that name? I like that he's obsessed with cartoons like Powerpuff Girls. You sure he's not this movie's equivalent of the cartoon community on YouTube? Anyway, in all seriousness, he is Wessler's replacement when it comes to weapon making, which I think would have worked better if Wessler was not in this movie, but okay. However, there's a reason why I saved him for last. Scud is actually working with the vampires, and the dart on Reinhardt's head wasn't real. I feel like a more cliched movie would have him reveal that he was a vampire the whole time, but no, he's another white chocolate slave. And his reasoning for portraying Blade is actually pretty decent.
Pretty soon they're all gonna be daywalkers, man. When that happens, I'd rather be a pet than cattle. You got me, B?
Oh yeah, I forgot he calls Blade B as a nickname. I like that. And his portrayal is 10 times better than these cliches right here. They promised me money. My mom is dying of cancer and they promised to help. I was bullied as a kid and I hate humanity. One of them's my girlfriend. I'm a vampire this whole time. They promised I'd never be in an online internet show about demons who make sex jokes 24/7 after this. Okay, that last one was inevitable. But Blade's got one more trick up his sleeve.
It's not a dud.
Ray. I was just starting to like him.
You and everyone else in the audience, Maine. Oh yeah, this movie is way too dependent on CGI. In cases like Jared Nomak, and the vampires being ceiling ninjas I'm fine with, but everything else I think would save you money if you just did the stunts in real life. Now on to the gore. Compared to the first movie, the gore is raised up by about an 11. We got backbones bulging out, blinking half-heads. We even get to see the anatomy of one of Jared Nomak's anal sex victims. We even got back cuts. We got a transvestite surgery gone wrong. The vampire equivalent to Pompeii. By the way, is this the equivalent of a vampire abortion? We even have Blade being tortured. By the way, remember the guy he spared earlier in the movie?
Well, you didn't think I forgot about you, did you?
By the way, why are dance clubs the go-to for a lot of action movies? And also, happy Halloween, everyone.